Hello friends, I am Dr. Ashish Agrawat. Today I am going to discuss about the ELISA technique. ELISA technique. The full form of the ELISA is enzyme link immunosorbent assay. Now here either antigen or antibody that is labeled with the enzyme. That's why it is called as an enzyme linked. And what is the meaning of immunosorbent? That immunosorbent means immunogen, either antigen or antibody, it is attached with the insoluble surface. Okay? It is attached with the insoluble surface. That is the meaning of immunosorbent. So here we use this ELISA technique for detection of either antigen or antibody. Okay? And it is very important to quantify the substance, which is in very minor amount, like which is in nanogram or picogram. Okay, but the concentration which are in milligram, like glucose or urea, okay, that we can measure by the help of colorimetry. But the concentration which is very less, that we can measure with the help of ELISA. Nowadays we have better technology, it is chemiluminescent also for the hormone and tumor markers which are in nanogram and picogram. But this is a basic technique, and this technique, understanding of this technique will also help you to understand the chemiluminescence also. I will make separate video about the chemiluminescence also. Okay, so ELISA, that is, what is the full form? Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Okay, which is very helpful to quantify the substance which are in nanogram or picogram in concentration, like hormones and tumor markers. Okay. Now there are four types of ELISA. There is four types of ELISA. One is direct ELISA. Second is indirect ELISA. Third is sandwich ELISA. And fourth is competitive ELISA. Okay, so I will describe all these four types one by one. And it is very important shortcut also in the exam, and it is very important technique for the laboratory also. Okay, so what is direct ELISA? So in direct ELISA, suppose this is a plate, microtiter plate. We add the serum. That contains the antigen. Okay, so serum containing antigen is added. So suppose this is the antigen. Okay, this round is for the antigen, right? And then we add the antibody. Which is labeled or tagged with the enzyme. Okay, so this will be our antibody. Okay, and if it is tagged with the enzyme, that is enzyme label antibody. So we add the antibody here. Okay, this is antibody and which is tagged with the enzyme. And then we add the substrate like TMB. That substrate will be converted to product with the help of enzyme, and it will give the color, and that we measure the spectrophotometrically. So here the antigen that we have to measure is directly in contact with the detection antibody. This is called as a detection antibody, right? So it is direct, antigen is directly in contact with the antibody. That's why it is called as a direct ELISA, and it is useful mainly for the qualitative measurement like beta HCG in case of pregnancy. So qualitative, it is mainly used. It is not much used. Okay, and here what we detect, that is antigen, right? In direct ELISA we detect the antigen, right? Now coming to the second type of ELISA, that is called as the indirect ELISA. Here in the microtiter plate, in the surface, this surface is coated with the antigen, and we add the serum that contains the antibody. Okay, so suppose we are measuring the HIV test. So what we do, we add the antigen of the HIV test in in the surface. Okay, the surface is labeled already with the antigen, and in between the antigen there is a blocking agents. These blocking agents can be bovine serum albumin or non-fat dry milk or gelatin in phosphate buffer saline. So these all can be used as a blocking agents. Okay, so they will block the other surface. Okay, so these are the blocking agents. So the surface is coated with the antigen that we have to measure. Then we add the serum that contains the antibody. So that antibody will bind with the epitope of that antigen, right? And then we add antibody which is against this antibody. Okay, that is present in the serum. And this antibody, that is called as a detection antibody, or it is also called as the secondary antibody. Okay, and this, how this is prepared, we add, it is prepared from the rabbit or sheep. Okay, so we inject this antibody into the rabbit and sheep, and what we get is antibody against this antibody. Okay, and that is tagged with the enzyme. And then we add the substrate, which will be converted to product, and depend on the substrate, there is different color is produced. Suppose it is a TMB, tetrahydrogen blue. Okay, then color produced, that is blue in color. Suppose it is a alkaline phosphate group and enzyme is alkaline phosphatase, then it is yellow in color, right? And here this enzyme is normally either HRP, horse radish peroxidase, or alkaline phosphatase. This enzyme that is tagged with the antibody is either HRP or ALP. So that will convert the substrate like TMB that is mostly used. It will convert this substrate into the color product, and this color we measure, and depend on the amount of the quantity of antibody present, the color concentration of color is different. Okay, so indirect ELISA is used for the detection of antibody. Remember, this antibody present in the serum we measure in indirect. In direct ELISA, what we measure the antigen. Okay, in direct ELISA, we directly add serum. This serum is added, and then enzyme tag antibody is added. Okay, and it will be converted to color. That is, we detect the antigen. In indirect ELISA, we detect the antibody. Remember this. Clear? It is very easy. And once the color is produced, then we, in the last step of the ELISA, we add the stop solution. That is H2SO4, sulfuric acid. Why? What is the use of this H2SO4? Which is the acid, so it will denature the enzyme. So the further reaction is stopped. So enzyme substrate will not be converted to product, and we can measure the exact quantity. Otherwise, the reaction will go on and on, and we cannot measure exactly. So to stop this reaction, we add the acid, and as you know, acid is a denaturing agent. It will denature the protein, so it will denature the enzyme, so that substrate will not be converted to product further, and we measure the quantity. That is the important. So far we have seen the direct ELISA and indirect ELISA. I hope it is clear to you. Now, third is sandwich ELISA. Okay, sandwich ELISA. So here the surface, okay, the microreactor plate, it contains the capture antibody. It contains the antibody which is called as a capture antibody. Okay, it is coated with the antibody which is called as a capture antibody. This antibody is against the target antigen. Okay, we know the target antigen. We are expecting one antigen. Suppose we are expecting the TSH. So what we do, we use the antibody that is against this TSH. Okay, and it will bind to the, this antibody will bind to the epitope of that antigen, right? Then we use this antigen. Antigen has many epitopes. Okay, what is epitope? It is a binding site in the antigen where antibody can bind. So it will bind with the, one is with the bind with the capture antibody, and to the another epitope of that antigen, the enzyme label antibody is added. So first, inbuilt in the kit, the microreactor plate in the well, it contains the surface contains the capturing antibody, and other surface is blocked by the blocking agents, like we have seen earlier, bovine surface albumin, non-fat dry milk, or gelatin in the phosphate buffer cell. These are the blocking agent. Then we add the serum that contains the antigen. So in sandwich ELISA, what we detect? We detect the antigen. Remember, in sandwich ELISA, we detect the antigen, right? In direct ELISA, we detect the antigen. In indirect ELISA, we detect the antibody. Okay, this is the only ELISA which detects the antibody. That is the indirect ELISA. In sandwich ELISA, again we measure the antigen, and then we add the antibody direct against this antigen, which is labeled with the enzyme. And we add the substrate like TMB. It will be converted with the help of enzyme. This is enzyme. It will convert it to product, and that we measure colorimetrical. Right? So we know the concentration of the substance. Okay. So if we use the calibrator, suppose we use the calibrator of 5 nanogram of TSH. So these are the known concentration, 5, 10, 20, 40. And once we add these calibrators, we process this and we get the colorimetrically, we get the OD. Suppose we get the 0.20, 0.40, 0.60 like OD. Okay, so for the 5 concentration, we get this OD 0.20. For the 10, we get 0.40 OD. For 20, suppose we get 0.60 OD. Then we plot the graph, and then whatever the unknown sample concentration, we get it from this graph. Suppose we run the unknown sample, which has an OD around 0.50. So it will go to this calibrator graph, and then we can get the concentration. So this is how we get the result of tumor marker or hormones or any other substance, which are in very micro quantity or nanogram or picogram in quantity, minute quantity we can detect. So in sandwich ELISA, here our target antigen is sandwich between these two antibodies. That's why it is called as a sandwich. Right? TSH, it is a protein, right? And hormone, which is a protein, and it is a big molecule. So we can detect it with the sandwich ELISA. But like T3 and T4, which are made from the amino acid tyrosine, which is in very minor quantity, we cannot detect it by the sandwich ELISA. So for that, we have another technique that is called as a competitive ELISA. Competitive, this is the fourth technique, that is competitive ELISA. It is for the measurement of analytes, which is in very minor, which is very small. Okay, like thyroid T3, T4, or leukotrienes, right? These are very small molecules. You can guess this T3, T4, they are made from the tyrosine amino acid. So it must be very small. Okay. So for that, what we can do, because it has not very few epitopes, so it cannot bind with the antibody, right? Like sandwich ELISA, so it requires the multiple epitopes. But here there will not be so much epitopes. So what we can do, the scientists have discovered that here the plate is captured with the antibody. Here there will be antibody. Okay. And we have two parts. One is antigen, unlabeled antigen. What will be the unlabeled antigen? Unlabeled antigen, that we have to measure, that is present in the serum. Okay. And another portion is labeled antigen. So label what? How it is tagged? It is tagged with the enzyme, right? So suppose if in the serum the antigen concentration is very high, okay, so first we add this label antigen. So this label antigen, that this is the antigen which is labeled with the enzyme. Okay, so it will bind with the epitope. Okay, this by the help of epitope of the antigen, it will bind with the antibody. Right. Now, when we add the serum, so first we add the labeled antigen and then we add the unlabeled antigen. Okay, unlabeled, that is present in the serum. When we add it, it will displace this enzyme antigen tagged with the enzyme, and this unlabeled or antigen present in the serum, it will bind with this antibody. Okay, so if the concentration of antigen is very high, then this antigen which is tagged with the enzyme, it will not be bind with the antibody and it will be displaced. Okay, So when concentration is very high in the serum, when concentration is very high, then this labeled antigen will be less. Okay, and then we add the substrate and it is converted to product. So when concentration is very high and concentration of antigen is very high, in that case, this labeled antigen will be less, so less product is formed. And when the concentration of antigen in the serum is very less, in that case, the antigen which is labeled with the enzyme will be more, and it will convert substrate to the product, and it will give more color. So what will be the graph of this competitive ELISA? This is a concentration 5, 10, 20, 40, 60. And here it is a OD 0.10, 0.20, 0.30. So when in the serum, when the concentration of antigen is very less, suppose it is concentration is very 0.5, in that case the labeled antigen will be more, and so that it is tagged with the enzyme, so it will produce the color, so optical density will be very high. Okay, so suppose OD will be 0.50, and when the increasing the concentration, suppose the 60 concentration, that OD will be very less. Why OD will be very less? Because it will bind with the antibody and the antigen label with the enzyme will be very less. So the graph will be in decreasing. In competitive ELISA, graph will be decreasing. While so in T3 and T4, if you see that in ELISA, the graph will be decreasing. While in TSH, it is a sandwich ELISA, graph will be increasing. Because it is directly proportional to the concentration of antigen in case of sandwich. While in case of competitive, the graph will be decreasing. So if I revise again, in direct ELISA, we add the serum antigen, and then we add the detection antibody, which is tagged with the enzyme, and substrate is added, and it will produce a color. In indirect ELISA, the well is coated with the antigen. It binds with the, we add the serum that contains the antibody, and then we add the labeled antibody, and it contains the enzyme labeled antibody. It will convert substrate into the product. So it will detect the antibody. Indirect ELISA will detect the antibody, while direct ELISA will detect the antigen. In sandwich ELISA, again it detects the antigen. So the well is kept coated with the antibody, which is called as the captured antibody. It is called as the captured antibody. Then we add the serum which contains the antigen. Then we add the antibody against this, which is tagged with the enzyme, and it will convert to the product. And in competitive ELISA, there is a competition between the labeled antigen and unlabeled antigen that is present in the serum, and labeled antigen is tagged with the enzyme. So this is all about the type of different ELISA. So here you can see this. This is a type ELISA reader. So this is a micro titer plate. It contains the well. This is ready-made kit available. Okay, and we add the in first rack, in the first row, we add the calibrator. The concentration is known, and then we add the unknown serum. Okay, and based on the graph, we get the result. So here we put the micro titer plate. Okay, this is another micro lab ELISA reader. This is ELISA washer. This is ELISA washer to wash the unwanted component, okay, during the process. This is the ELISA reader. So you can see that this is a micro titer plate. These are the wells, and at the end, when we add the stop solution, that in the TMB substrate, the blue color turns to the yellow. Okay, we can get the print of this standard concentration also, and we can get the results. Okay, so this is how ELISA reader and washer looks like. This is a micro titer plate, and these are the well. This well is coated. Suppose it is indirect ELISA. In indirect ELISA, well is coated with the antigen, and we detect the antibody. Okay, in sandwich ELISA, well is coated with the antibody. Okay, and we detect the antigen. Okay, we detect the antigen in sandwich ELISA. Or in case of competitive ELISA, we get the coated with the well, and when we add the labeled and unlabeled antigen, we get the results. Okay, so this is how the well looks like. The kits are ready-made available, the ELISA kits, and we can measure the hormone and tumor marker. So I hope this video is helpful to you. You can see in the background that is ELISA reader, right? This is ELISA reader. This is ELISA washer. This is the print Okay, I hope this video is helpful to you. If it is helpful to you, please hit the like button and share this video to the all beneficiary, and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the notification for my future video also. Thank you friends for watching. Bye.